he's had in his early part of his career, but just a few more of those fights and gradually get into the title shot.
Action coming thick and fast this Friday fight night. Terrific match at super middleweight here. Ruben Groenewald returns after a 2-year battle to save his career. He was banned after Carl Froch stopped him in 5 rounds because of asthma. He won his appeal against that ban. Richard Horton faces a big step up in class here. His 7th fight, tall, well-schooled, and has good skills. We can join this one from the start.
Seconds out, first round.
Here's a face some of you may remember, the rugged, strong South African who's been largely based in Britain, Ruben Groenewald, hoping to get his career kick-started again at 30 after inactivity and some difficulties as well. He's up against Richard Horton, who's got good ability, but it's only his 7th fight, the Essex stylist, tonight, so let's see how he copes with the added experience of Groenewald.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the camp have decided it's time to find out just how good Richard Horton can be, because on paper this looks like a fairly tough match this early in your career. And we've seen Groenewald have a real tough battles at middleweight, now up at super middleweight. Hard as they come and always competitive.
I guess they're hoping that Groenewald is going to be rusty and that he's taken his eye off the ball somewhat.
Yeah, and maybe feeling too that now that he's not in the middleweight limit any longer, he's maybe a little bit past his best, hopefully a little bit lazier, but he's looking sprightly in the early stages here. Good solid looking body shot there.
Right hand as well. He's 30 now, Groenewald. Horton 4 years younger at 26, but a good jab. It's a solid start this for Ruben Groenewald.
Yeah, he's looking sharp. Groenewald, his defence is good, slipping the shots, coming back with nice counters. There he goes again. So Horton maybe just looking to find some confidence in the early stages here. He's throwing a good jab, but Groenewald's dealing with it at the moment.
It's a bit slapdash from Horton so far, not really connecting with the jab. Good to try it out. That's the height and the reach. Slips a right-hand counter in. He's obviously got some skills, Horton, but it's a tough one. Good uppercut, though. Just needs to settle into this, and quickly.
Well, Horton's taken a couple of solid shots in the first round here, but undeterred, he's trying to stand his ground, trying to push Groenewald back. Not a bad plan, but easier said than done.
Targeting the body, Groenewald, and just a deep breath from him. He has suffered some asthmatic problems in the past, and he's had a long feud with the British board over that. Says he's absolutely fit and healthy to box. He's done better, Horton, in the last part, although he has to take a couple of body shots.
Well, I'm sure he'll be pretty happy with his opening round. I know his corner certainly well, where he was picking some nice punches. His head movement was good, his defence was tight, looking very relaxed. Took a few solid shots of his own, but he's done that plenty of times in the past and never been troubled. So, yep, he'll be quite happy with the opening round. The good news for Horton, his work improved as the round went along, so no reason his confidence should be dipping. So this is shaping up well.
Second of 6, 12-stone super middleweight division. Black and white stripes of Ruben Groenewald in fight number 29, and the 7th for Richard Horton. Horton's lost once before, Groenewald 5 times, most recently to Carl Froch in a Commonwealth 12-stone challenge. Just not good enough, was he?
No, not at that level, but let's keep in mind too, he's been campaigning in a couple of real tough divisions at a real tough time. So he needed just to be a little bit better than he was, but at this level, he's very dangerous.
Best win, certainly the one over Anthony Farnell that he got at the MEN Arena. back in 2002. Good combinations, just trying to overwhelm Horton, who's been brave.
Groenewald's defence is not so good in the second round here. He's been caught cleanly several times with simple, straight shots from Horton, so he'll be wanting to stick with those. He's been throwing a good jab in the opening round, but it wasn't landing. Now it's beginning to land.
Just a bit tense in the shoulders, Groenewald, as he takes a right hand. Aiming for the body. It's decent action with these two.
Well, Horton doesn't want to be standing on the ropes trying to counter. You want to be out, give yourself a little bit of room to work. That was better.
Yeah, good punch. He's only scored one knockout so far, Richard Horton. And that was in his debut over Nikakov, who's a very decent journeyman. You're taking him off the leash here, Horton. Can he deliver?
Blocking a lot more punches in this round. Horton didn't block that one, but his defences have tightened. He's just doing the simple things, nothing fancy.
He goes for the body, sold plenty of tickets, and they engage in a bit of intense warfare. Groenewald just looking at Bob Williams, the referee, who's been promoted to A class. We congratulate him for that, Bob Williams.
Well, this is a tough round. They're just each giving as good as he's getting. Certainly an improvement in Horton's defences in this round, but Groenewald still finding a way through.
Big rights. Oh, lovely right hand back though from Horton. Better shot than all the ones that Groenewald landed. Very close round.
Good punches coming from either man. Some good work, the body shots. Horton did manage to partly block a lot of the shots. Groenewald a little bit wider than Horton. Horton more controlled, his defences were tight. Kept just coming back with that jab and the straight, simple punches. But that was the couple of times he just got caught as he was throwing his own shots. That's the experience of Groenewald. But the way he answered, commendable. Excellent round, that one.
Seconds out. Breathe.
Third round, good fight here on the undercard in Bethnal Green. Ruben Groenewald looking for his 21st win and his second in this comeback period of his career. Richard Horton with Ricky on the waistband, seeking out his biggest victory to date. Lost once, stopped by Sean Allen Davis in a round. It was a blip, and he's come back well from that, winning his next couple.
Just out of range with the early work in the third round here and asking for trouble against an experienced counter-puncher. Has to step in a little bit closer before he lets his punches go at Horton.
Groenewald hoping to box more regularly in 2008, pay off some debts and get back into title contention. Again, that big breath. Is that a habit or is he tiring?
Well, he's been doing it from the opening round, just did it again as we're speaking here now. I don't think it's tiring. He's had some asthmatic problems in the past. Maybe sometimes you don't feel your lungs are full when they actually are full. But he's been picking some nice punches. A lot of Horton's early work was out of range and he was being countered. But he's closer now. But up as close as this, he's not using his physical advantages. He wants it long range, but you can see again, he's out of range. He's going to have to step in with the punches. He's reaching with them, and he's just asking to be countered. Missing again there.
And just flicks through. Jab long, not landing, not delivering. That one did. Down goes Groenewald on the counter. He said it was a slip, but he was bundled over.
It was actually trying to time his own countering shot, and just as he let the punch go, he was caught in the chin. He wasn't hurt, but that was a legitimate knockdown. Can't argue about that.
They're trying to dust himself down and just get on with it, Groenewald. And that might be just an edge for Horton that he needs at this stage in the fight. The reflexes maybe not what they once were for Groenewald at 30. He's got courage, bundles of that, but here comes Horton.
See, I think the problem at the moment, the punches that matter are coming from Horton. Groenewald's throwing little short chopping punches, but not a great deal of power behind them. Horton, it looks as though now he's on the war path, getting a little bit closer, putting punches together.
Smear of blood just from the nose of Horton, but it's been a very good round for him. Groenewald on the floor, not often you see that.
I think at this stage that the pace had dropped a little bit. I think he was trying to time a counter and he was caught bang on. But although a flash knockdown, but he did go down pretty heavily. So I wonder, maybe is he beginning to feel the pace? You can see his left foot also slipped there. I think that's why he complained about the knockdown. And I think that was partly to blame from going over. But can't argue the punch did the damage.
Down a couple of times. It's easily fun out to Carl Froch, but only the better fighters can do that to Groenewald. Good chin normally, Ruben Groenewald, but down in the third here. And must be behind now on Bob Williams's card. So very important second half of this, especially, I would say, for Groenewald. They'd have taken the plunge with Horton, and a defeat won't be the end of the world for him. He's got nothing to lose here.
Nothing whatsoever, but I'm quite impressed the way he's handling this. It was tough right from the opening bell, but he didn't look to make it easy, didn't look to hide, prepared to stand his ground, take his shots, and just come through them, and that's what he's been doing. So obviously with a knockdown now, his confidence is going to be high, and Groenewald is the one who doesn't look all that happy with the pace. He's the one who's trying to slow things, just pot shot here and there.
Yep, he's popped out a few right hands, now he's gone back to the jab. Horton with a body shot, being cheered on by his fans who've come from Essex. And they're enjoying this, aren't they, the York Hall crowd?
See, we're seeing nice little bursts of punches from Groenewald, but not an awful lot of quality in them, not a lot of substance. I think the punches that matter, again, coming from Horton.
Jab, body shot, head shot from Richard Horton. Not all landing that cleanly, and he's not a massive puncher, but the accuracy is coming on, and now the confidence too, a bit of bravado.
Yeah, and his defence is good too, nice and tight. When he misses with a punch, he's getting his hands back up, his elbows tucked in. So nothing really getting through cleanly.
Gary Booth getting animated in the red corner, that of Ruben Groenewald. He's putting some combinations together. Wasn't really the fighter he was 5 or 6 years ago. Inactivity can be very detrimental on one's career.
We're seeing some nice moves from Groenewald, some nice head movement, come back with some nice little combinations. But it's another round where I feel that the punches that are counting are coming from Horton.
I think he feels as well, Richard Horton, Jim, that he's in charge.
Yeah, and Groenewald doesn't look all that comfortable at the moment. He's backing off. I mean, he needs to be coming forward to be effective. That's always been the case throughout his career. And he's been backed up at the moment, just looking for little rests here and there just to get his breath back. Not comfortable with the pace.
Yeah, flashes, but he's boxing in bursts. Ruben Groenewald not sustaining it, and he might be losing these rounds.
Show round. Gum shield. Seconds out, round 5.
I want these 2 rounds Says Len Butcher in Richard Horton's corner. He knows it's not over yet. But he's had Ruben Groenewald down. He might be just doing that bit more, certainly in terms of punches landed clean anyway on Groenewald. But it is tight at times, it's been.
Yeah, and Groenewald has started this round as though he realises that things have to change, maybe slipping away from him. But I just wonder, is he comfortable with the pace?
They're driving these punches home now, Horton. Not everything landing. He's got the sort of basics, hasn't he, Jim, with that long jab that can really be worked on and turned into something.
Yeah, and he works from behind a solid defence. Although he's maybe not as busy as he should be at the moment, Groenewald, as I say, realises something has to change and he's taking the initiative a little bit more. Not prepared to stand there and sustain it, but produce some good work in this round.
Yeah, decent punches, getting through the guard. More blood to the nose of Horton.
Groenewald seems to be breathing through his mouth a lot of the time, and that's always dangerous. If you're not biting down on the gum shield and a punch lands on the chin, it's dangerous. Jaws broken, for example, and so I'd like to see him biting on that gum shield a little bit more. Looks as though he's struggling a little bit with his breathing.
He was very angry about being banned for the asthmatic problem. Said that he's absolutely fine. Maybe there is something there. Good left hand, though. That's better from Groenewald.
This is a good round from him so far. He's picking the punches nicely again, the way he was doing in the opening round, finding himself a little bit of time. Maybe Horton has slowed that a little bit.
He's got a few fans as well at ringside, Groenewald. People have liked him in Britain over the years because he's always tried guts and character, and he's used a bit of experience here on Richard Horton, who hasn't done as much in the fifth. It's getting closer again.
Yeah, Horton has been guilty of reaching with his punches in a few of the rounds, and a couple of the rounds he got away with it. He's not been getting away with it in this round. Some nice, cute-looking boxing from Groenewald in this round.
Punch away, lads. Come on, keep going. Keep working, please.
As the left hook to the body, just gets a nod from Richard Horton. Accepts that one got through and hurt him a wee bit as well. Fifth round to Ruben Groenewald, no doubt about that. And boy, did he need it. Final round. Good action in this super middleweight fight. Who is going to win it? Richard Horton maybe in a slender lead. He had that knockdown in the third round, 10-8 round, and that might, Jim, be crucial.
Yeah, that may just be the little cushion that's required. I've scored one round level, so that could be the round that maybe decides it one way or the other, but I would say Horton needs a big last round. You can see my card there. I have 1 point up at the moment thanks to the knockdown. But just to be sure, we'll be looking for a good final round.
Groenewald, who has 12-round experience, lost to Delroy Leslie, beat Anthony Farnell over those distances, won in the 10th as well against Alan Gilbert. So he knows how to come into fights, and he's done that in the last 2 or 3 minutes. How will Horton respond?
Well, he's responded well, certainly in the first minute of the final round, getting that little bit closer with the jab. The accuracy which was lacking in the previous round seems to have returned.
Good right hand though from Groenewald. Only 7 knockout wins on the slate. Career going back to 1996. Does he need a knockdown in this final round, or will winning the 6th be enough for Bob Williams? Who wants this more? Good rights again from Groenewald. Back comes Horton. Decent 6th round here. And he looks tired, suddenly, Groenewald.
Yeah, well, he was the one who couldn't stay with that exchange. Horton having the last word. And at this stage in a close fight, that's very important. He's imposing himself on Groenewald here in the last round. Again, the punches that count seem to be coming from him.
A minute to go, good right. That hurt Groenewald, and the uppercut followed as well. Richard Horton coming on strong, and maybe putting the finishing touches of what would be a terrific win for him, if he can eke it out.
Well, this looked like a tough battle on paper for Horton, but I think he's coped with it admirably. Excellent performance, and he's finishing on a bit of a high here. Never looked to make it easier. Didn't look like being stuck with the task all the way through. Look at the finish.
Yeah, terrific toe-to-toe stuff. He doesn't mind to tear up this Richard Horton, and Ruben Groenewald digging deep. Richard Horton's got it. He's cut, but he's got it. He won't mind about that. That's the big win he wants over an experienced former Commonwealth title challenger in Ruben Groenewald, and Richard Horton. For us, Jimmy deserved that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the biggest win of his career. And it was a good match as it turns out. I thought he may have struggled a little bit more, but he coped with it very well. I don't expect there being too much of a hurry to rush him on from that. Pity about the cut. That just happened in the last half minute of the round or so. Excellent performance, and a win on the card that actually means something. So good night's work for Horton.
Engaging battle, wasn't it? Decent match.
Yep, all the way through it was. A couple of little signs that Groenewald's experience may be too much for Horton, but not. He kept coming back with the answer. And all round, an excellent performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 superb rounds of boxing, referee Bob Williams has adjudged the contest as follows. For Groenewald, 56 points. For Horton, 57 points. Your winner from Ongar, Essex, Richard Horton.
It was a big step up in class for Richard Horton, and he did himself proud.
He certainly did. I mean, Groenewald's been in some big fights over the last few years, and although at 30 he's starting to go downhill now, you can clearly see that, and he's not probably quite a super middleweight, but Horton had to pull everything out the bag there, and he boxed well. He's learning as he goes along. He's trying the peekaboo defence. He's trying to keep his hands up, but he's not moving his head, so when he throws shots, his head's still. So he needs to work on that. But really, you know, a good performance and a good win, another step up the ladder, and he's improving.